Hey everyone, how's it going? I am back with another video. There's a lot to get into tonight. First of all, we're going to start with my first OP13 locals last night. Um, yeah, so I'm not going to lie, it was pretty grim. Uh, I I really missed having you guys there to talk to while, or just to talk, think about my plays while I played. It was such a weird feeling going from 7 days worth of just talking and thinking out loud about all the different plays I could make to then sitting there at a table with everything inside. Um, and yeah, it was weird, and I didn't do so well. So yeah, look, I had a big speech laid out with I was going to go through round by round, but I won't dwell too much on it. Um, Honestly, I think I was just really exhausted. It's been a huge week. This this YouTube venture has just exploded more than I thought, and trying to juggle this with my business, it's just yeah, it's been really hard. But I'm loving it, and I'm really excited for tonight's video because I got something a bit different planned. But first up, yeah, locals. So played Zoro first round. The guy was pretty good. He's a good player. I won dice roll. I went first. My hand was okay. I had a searcher. I had an Atmos on 5. Didn't have Yamato, but I think I had maybe I had a Garp as well. So I thought, look, I'll just keep. I searched with Garp, couldn't find Yamato. On 9 Don, I think I just swung 9, and then on his 4 Don, he did Mihawk, Zoro, Koshiro. I bounced the Zoro, and then on 6 Don, he went Law Toshigi, uh, and then I bounced the Toshigi with Jozu. He replayed the Toshigi, swung, and then I played a 10 cost, but then he played Shanks, swung big again, and it was pretty much just over. I didn't have enough cards, couldn't stabilize, and there was no way. Yeah, I just scooped because I couldn't stop the Shank swings amongst everything else. So yeah, that was pretty rough. Um, not look, I got kind of unlucky because he didn't do any searches on 2 Don. So out of his starting hand, maybe 1 draw and 1 life, he had Mihawk, Zoro, Koshiro, Law, Toshigi, and then Shanks. So he basically drew Exodia. Um, but look, things happen. Maybe if I wasn't so tired, I probably would play it a bit differently, or maybe make some slightly different decisions when countering or things like that. But yeah, rough game. Uh, Next, then played a mirror match. I think it's another really good player, uh, a good mate of mine. Uh, and yeah, so I won dice roll, went second. Uh, Usual. Yeah, it was a pretty standard mirror. A lot of back and forth. He was playing like he was keeping his hand size. Both of us keeping around 6 cards. No one was letting ourselves get puddinged. We were just sort of. It was just a combination of Marcos, Josu's. Uh, I played a new gate. He red rocked it. I played another new gate that stuck for a bit. He played a new gate. I red rocked it, and then it went on for like this for a little while. You know, sort of stalemate stuff. Um, and then it got to a point where I had 2 new gates on the board and he didn't have any, and then he played one, and I had my second red rock in hand, and I thought, well, if I red rock this and I've got 2 still standing, I'm in a pretty commanding position. So I did, and it was all looking pretty good. I could feel the momentum going in my favor. But then he sort of checkmated me by putting Roger down. He sort of had no choice. It was like his last ditch attempt. And then after he put the Roger down, I was sort of staring at the board like, right, okay, there's not much I can do now. can't put him to zero. Like I wasn't able to kill him on that turn. I can't put him to zero, and yeah, it just and I had no red rocks left. So and then after I analyzed it after the game. So yeah, I ended up just poking, trying to get cards out of hand. He was on 2 life. He took 1 life, and then I said, oh well, I can't poke anymore. I ended up losing to the Thatch 2K, um, which I forgot was a card. Uh, but yeah, so if you have any like Thatch 2K, it did win him the game. So if anyone's doubting it, it did come in clutch for him. But we did work out that if I did swing and then tried to threaten lethal, he might have had to ditch the Thatch 2K, and he wouldn't have had it. So uh, I could have put him to 1, forced the 3 card, because if we worked out if I swing 12, if he takes it and goes to 0, he loses because he doesn't have enough counter. And but if he has to defend, and then if he defends, he gives me the Thatch, and he can't go down to 0 anymore. So there was a line where I had to. So if you do get in that position where they put down Roger and you can't red rocket, try and swing as hard as you can and force them to use the 2K in hand. Or something might not work, but if you've got no other option, you can get around it that way. But yeah, third round, got a bye. I was pretty depressed at that point. But it gave me a good chance to think and sort of digest everything. And yeah, look, you know, I was glad I had this video to make tomorrow to talk about everything. Otherwise, it probably would have been more depressing. Um, but yeah, fourth round, I matched against an Emu. He was okay. He's not the greatest Emu player. It wasn't like your sort of standard game, but I won the dice roll, decided to go first. I had nothing to lose, and I saw the ace in hand, and got to play ace, and it felt pretty good. So yeah, like I think he definitely did his job in that matchup, put lots of pressure on, and it just felt good to put a card down and just sort of swing with it. And so yeah, that was locals, and then I'll you know I'll quickly transition onto my next point, which is after I played this ace, and then I chatted with my mates, and then I went home and I started to think, and I thought swinging with this was like it was fun, like being able to actually turn my cards sideways in the mid game, like felt really good, and I sort of having a bit of a realization that like ace is kind of boring to me, and I've been persisting with the meta build while doing these videos because I wanted to learn the deck, and I want to win. I want to do well at tournaments, but uh, when I was doing that Emu video, or like when I was doing my last video, and we had those 2 games against Emu, I thought that was going to be bad content because uh, while I was playing those games, I was actually getting me bored myself playing. Anyway, so enough talking. We'll get into some actual content. But I had a bit of an epiphany that just like my playstyle and this current iteration of Ace uh, leader, it's not my playstyle. Um, some of the decks I've had the most success with over the journey have been like Black Gecko Moria, Blue Doflamingo, decks that like putting pressure on early and forcing your opponent on the back foot. Um, Ace, red blue ace is kind of just a solitaire deck where you build your big wall of 3 or 4 of these, and then win at the sort of last minute. And it is boring to play. Like I lose attention halfway through the game. So anyway, look, I need a bit of a break from this main build just to refresh myself, just to keep it fun. So I decided tonight we're actually going to I'm gonna put in some. I'm gonna change up the list a little bit, try out some crazy things, and who knows, maybe something might work. So yeah, we're gonna cook a little bit. I play Ace not because I want to play this build, but because I love Ace as a character. I love red and blue as colors, and you know, like I was just excited about playing this leader, not necessarily playing this sort of slow, methodical, almost dare I say it, boring game plan. So anyway, I've got a couple of cards loaded up of what I considered of what cards you could maybe think about putting in. So first two cards I've been thinking about. Sanji, 3 Don. One advantage we have is decks want to take second away from us. So sometimes when you lean into a first curve, you're happy to lose. If you're happy to lose a dice roll and people give you first, that's always, if you can build your deck around that, that's an advantage. So I was just thinking, I want to swing a bit more in the early game. I want to turn my card sideways, put pressure on. I think Sanji could be a good card to do that with. Something, put it down on 3, 6k swing. You can swing into Ace, puts pressure on Imu. If Zoro wants to kill it, gives you a card. It's just an all-round really good red card. So yeah, this is something that I thought maybe has potential. So if you're going to play Sanji on 3, it is best paired with a rush on 5 Don. And so if you can swing with Sanji and then swing with a 5-cost rush, your opponent has to choose which character to swing at. So that leads on to my next card, which is Luffy, starter deck Luffy. This is a 5-cost 6k rush, and when attacking, you can give your leader Arrested Don. So it enables leader effect. I've been thinking about this card throughout the day while planning for this video. If it had counter, it would be perfect, but it doesn't have counter. So when you try and integrate it in with your main deck, it gets really clunky, and you have so many dead cards because you're most likely going to be swapping Yamato with this. So you're taking away 4 1Ks and putting in 4 bricks. So that might not work. But the backup 5-cost rush we have is Ace. Red Ace. It's got the 1k counter. So this card, if you have Whitebeard Pirates leader, it gets rush. And then once per turn, if they try and remove it, you can give it minus 2000 power instead. So yeah, if you swing with it, it does leave it a bit vulnerable. But if you swing with this and you've got Sanji rested as well, and they have to choose, at least you might keep one body, and then the effect wouldn't be as relevant. But yeah, so these putting some rush or putting some early pressure in my list is something I really want to try. Just because if I keep doing the same thing, I might go a bit crazy. And if you've come along for the journey so far for pure competitive content, I'm sorry, but yeah, tonight we're gonna have a bit of fun. We're gonna change it up, and we're gonna test out going first curve with Sanji and Ace. Maybe we could do a split between Luffy and Ace if we can work out how to minimize our bricks, but that's one thing that we're going to try tonight. Now, for future videos, while my mind was cooking, trying to think of what other cards you could put into Ace, what's other things that might be worthwhile running. I've just got a few. I'll just go through a few cards and a few other builds that you could do, and then maybe if you guys want to put in the comments like, oh, would love to see that deck or that build. If I get enough of the same, we'll build it and we'll do a video about that. So one thing is animals. I played a lot of Animal Marco, really fun deck. Obviously, with Marco, you can put one of these from your hand on top of the deck, so when this gets played out, it's guaranteed hit. You can't do that with Ace, um, but you do have the advantage of it being red blue, so you can use Richie, the extra blocker. But it does serve a similar purpose in Ace that it does with Marco, where you just put on some early game pressure. And this would be more of a going second build, not first. And excuse me, you could, for a example play, two Don, you do your search, or you attach one to leader, you leave one up for the event. Uh, they swing, you trigger the event, you get a chopper out. On your 4 Don turn, you swing with chopper, you get out one of these, an animal, and then you pop down Marco, and then all of a sudden, Marco, you actually get more use out of Marco's block, and Marco can block for the animals. And then on 6 Don, if you've got one of these out and you protect it with Marco, you can bounce it back to your hand with Jozu for a +1 2k off the chopper. So, things like that. Marco, decent synergy with the animals. Animal Ace. I want to try that one day. Seems fun. Seems fun. Obviously, none of these things are going to win you regional events, but maybe could win you a locals. Who knows? Maybe it's secretly good. Like, classic example is Sakazuki. No one was expecting the Navy HQ build with the Ara Murakumo, light sword event. Like, no one was expecting that. No one in the East ever thought of doing that. The West cooked it up, and I think Ace has the same potential. We shouldn't be scared to just push the boundaries. So, Animal Ace, if you want to see that, drop a comment, and I will definitely do a video on that because that seems super fun. So you could go down a control path with KO effects. Marco is a great Wipe Your Pirates card. Unigate's a great Wipe Your Pirate card. It enables leader. It gives a rested Don to your leader, so it's got synergy there. Seaquake's cool card. You got Crossfire, thematically really cool with Ace. Flame Emperor, beautiful card, super satisfying to pull off. But the problem with these is they all rely on KO effects. So not only is it useless against Emu, any sort of control is useless against Emu, and it's also not that great into the mirror because you're KOing their stuff and they can get draws from it, whereas bounce and things like that, they don't get the draw. So the KO build, as fun as it would be, it would only really be good into Zoro and then other rogue matchups. So I probably wouldn't put much time into that. Like, if I'm going to cook something up, I want to at least stand a chance against the big three. What else? So something that I thought would be really fun would be a build centered around Odin. You go first, you slap down your Odin, you swap one of your 2Ks out with Whitey Bay. Both these searchable with Izzo. You play your Whitey Bay, buff your leader up to 8k, and then swing with Odin, bounce Whitey Bay back to hand, and you got 3 8k swings. Puts a lot of pressure on Ace, puts obviously a lot of pressure on Emu. He can't be removed. There was a reason that Nami won, or got top 4 of that championship, or whatever they did in Japan, was with Odin. This is a great blue card. It's never really taken off in the West, I think, because by the time we got the deck, it was too late. And then, OP13 came out, and this Odin just sort of got forgotten about. But, it's still a really great card. And, maybe you could build something around it. I definitely would like to try that in the future. Because, all you have to consider is Emu is kind of weak to aggression. If you keep swinging at them, like, there is a reason that like Rayleigh was still in the meta in the East because it was had a good Emu matchup. And, Emu is weak to aggression, and Ace, we're only 3 life. Like we're only a 3 life leader. I'm sure you've had those games against Zoro where you don't have much counter or something like that, and then you just die. And if we could put 3 8K swings down, uh, you do this on 7, on 8, they might play a blocker bid, they can block 1 8, and then the other 2 8s, that's 4 cards out of hand. So potential in this. If you want to see an Odin build, drop it in the comments. Happy to do that. It seems really fun. Uh, so, and then you've just got like other Whitebeard Pirates cards. We've talked about the Ace. It's nowhere near good. Like I know it's not as good as Yamato. It doesn't draw you cards. It doesn't enable leader. But if you like B and you like turning your cards sideways, you want to attack, you want to put pressure on, it might be worth a try. It's searchable. If you if you just want to leave it standing, Emu can't KO it, and Jozu can't bounce it. So then, it's you're going to have a body stick on the board. It has its uses. Uh, Ace, this has kind of been power crept a bit. Still, it still has potential, but it works best into decks that you sort of low to like decks that have already got a lot of rested bodies. So when you drop it, you can clear them really easy. But Ace and Emu, they're not really going to have many rested bodies by the time this comes down on 7. So it's mainly just a 7-cost 7K rush. And by that point, you might as well play the new Secret Rare Ace or Yamato, which turns on your leader effect and things like that. So this is probably a bit troll. Even though everything we're talking about is troll, I wouldn't run this. And you got Vista from the new set. This is a pretty cool card. Double attack is always a bit of a threat. And it's got protection. It's an AK body. It just doesn't have counter. So, when you're swapping, just say you swap some of your Jozus for Vista. Jozu has 1K, Vista does nothing. So you're adding more bricks. And 1Ks are actually almost more important than 2Ks because with Ace, we can turn any card into our hand into a 2K. And you more often than not need the 1Ks to either block 6K swings or block those 8K swings coming in. So Vista, maybe not. I'd have to test it. But these are sort of just more generic Whitebeard cards. There's probably more you can put in. There's the 1-drop block of Vista. That could put him some work. There's plenty of other cards. There's this blocker Marco can bounce back 4-drop Marco. Against Emu, there's a chance that they won't have Severed in Trash if you're putting this down on curve. Maybe interrupts their plays a little bit, and you can swing with it. Not a bad card. Zoro, you might, but it blocks a swing. You can bounce back their 4-drop Zoro, has utility but no counter, so kind of annoying. Anyway, those are some cards I wanted to talk about that just to that you could broaden the possibilities of Ace. But the main one is the Sanji that I want to be playing with tonight. This, and I want to focus on going first, and I just want to focus on swinging and actually just sort of enjoying the game again. So we're going to put 4 of these in, and I do think my logic of pairing it with Rush works pretty well. Just because, if you have to make your opponent, like if they don't have anything on 4 Don, or they can't put down a body, or it even pairs well with it has good synergy with Marco as well, because you swing with this on and then on 5, You swing with this, you put down Marco. Marco can protect her, well, him, and that these have a bit of synergy as well. And I know it's not base power 6, so it doesn't trigger your leader effect, but it does draw a card anyway, so it's got sort of a built-in leader effect. But yeah, Sanji 100% we're going to try out. As for the rush slot, ditching Yamato does feel bad. But if you want to play a more proactive game style, she draws you cards, but yeah, she's not pressuring the opponent. So let's try out Ace today. We'll put in Ace just because he's got the counter. I would love to try that Rush Luffy out. I do like that you can swing 7 with leader and it turns on leader, but when you've already got 1, 3, 7, 9, 13, 15, like 19 bricks, you swap these. Sorry, get rid of these. If you swap these for Luffy's, that's a lot of bricks. All right, so considering this is pressure, we have to decide whether or not, do we go full aggressive and leave the aces in? We need to find 4 slots. And I've got to put a little bit of thought into what I want to take out. So I think we can drop down to 10 2Ks. I think that's safe. 2K, we see a lot of 2Ks. Sometimes your hand can be full of 2Ks and nothing else. So I think it'd be safe to put Thatch down to 2. That's one change. Next change, this is where it starts getting tricky. So we want to go first. If just say, so with in the case of Atmos, just say we put down our Sanji, and then on 4 dawn, we're in mirror, and then on 4 dawn they play their Marco. I had both Ace and Atmos in hand. Would I want to play Ace and then do the 6-6-6 with 3 6K swings, or would I bounce the Atmos, bounce the Marco, and then just go 6, and then attach 1 7 with lead, and then bounce the Marco? I love Atmos. I love bouncing cards. I love control. Like, I don't want to lose too many control elements out of the deck because it's something I enjoy doing. And as I've been saying, I have been falling out of love with the play style, so I don't really want to lose these. One thing you could argue is because you're going first. So obviously, this is an amazing card. This is definitely an amazing card. I think it's part of the problem why the deck's boring, but it's Whitebeard. He's cool. You don't you're not gonna cut that. Like it's suicide. But because we're going first predominantly, you could cut one event because you don't need to see it that on 8 dawn, and then on 9 dawn you do have the option of searching to find it. This is an option to cut. Look, you could just cut the 2 Atmos. Maybe that's smarter. I'm not sure. The 2 Ace. I feel like if you are committing to swinging, and then you get to your 7 dawn turn, it is nice to have the ability to keep swinging, mixed with a combination of bounce. But yeah, I'd have to leave this in and then see if it's too much, just raw aggression, and then yeah, maybe 9 beard. We are going first, so it is not bad to just put down on 9. Look, let's take one event out, see how much that affects our consistency. If you're being aggressive, putting gets more valuable because they might be taking more life. But at the same time, if you're going 6-6-6, it is your opponent is going to think, okay, these are like, they're easy swings to counter out of. And sometimes you're not swinging to do damage. You're actually swinging to control their hand and keep their hand low. So putting maybe gets less value in an aggressive strategy like that. So maybe putting can go down to 1. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, that's fine. Red Rock, look, I think if we're putting down pressure and then it gets to a certain point where we just want to Red Rock something and keep our pressure up, I'm fine with that at 2. Jozu at 4. I do love Jozu. Pretty good card. Like I think going Sanji Ace and then playing Jozu to like that's just really good tempo. Maybe Ace. Maybe we get rid of Ace. I know I was saying at the start how I did think he was good. There was a situation in the first round with Zoro where I put down where I Jozu'd his Toshigi, and I had Ace as well. But I was in my mind, I'm like, oh, I know he's got Zoro because I Atmosed it, but so maybe I shouldn't play Ace because I know he's just going to put the Zoro down. But when you think about it, you're bouncing the Toshigi, they put down Zoro. They're actually putting a 1k counter from their hand onto the board. It needs a Don attached to swing. So that's either one less Don on their bigger characters or their leader. It's one more card out of hand, and then you're swinging 7 with the rush, and you're putting a Don on leader. And so sometimes with Zoro, it's just kind of like, okay, well, can I kill him before he kills me? And this might have going down this strategy where I'm playing this instead of Jozu. I was scared of putting the 4 drop down, but why was I scared of that? Like he might not even want to put it down because he's looking at at a 7k rush and going like, I need this counter in hand. So it would have been a better play in Zoro, but for the sake of this video and just to speed things up, we'll just drop him for now, and then maybe so we're not super troll, we put our event back up to 4. I don't want to trigger anyone too much. All right, so there we go. I will relabel this because you are Ace Sanji. But yeah, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, I needed to have some fun. Let's jump into some games. I'm gonna play ranked because I'm not scared of I don't mind losing a couple of games. I want to play against good decks. You're never going to know if something's worked if you just play against randoms in the quick play. So we'll play ranked. I'm ominously at 666 rank, which is a bit scary. So hopefully that doesn't mean anything bad. I'll put on some music. And we'll see if Sanji does any work for us. All right, cool. Mirror. Let's go first. I would like to see the Sanji in hand. Or the ace at least. Although this is not a bad hand. I don't hate it. Sorry, man. Say, I'm trying something weird. Oh, oh, oh no. Oh no. Yuck. Well, this is annoying. Okay. Don't even find ace. Where are you? You're letting my video down. Got to leave that ISO there in case I chose you. We won't take this, even though it's tempting to try and find ace. Okay. Oh, look, I'll take this one. Oh, go away, event. It's taunting me. It's telling me I should have dropped it to 3. Oh. No. Well, we'll definitely swing into this. Because yeah, it takes away our Josie target. We'll filter a little bit with a time up. No, this is a joke. Go in the trash. I don't know if he should have swung with that, because if he has Joe's now. Okay. Alright, he's got combo. Yep, no worries. Yep. Our hand's getting big if he swings 8. Okay, good. Yeah, I might take the chance to do this. We're going to bounce a timer back anyway. And you can go away. And I might trash that market. Pretty straightforward game. This is that weird spot in the mirror where he can Jozu, my Jozu. Wow. Bad luck. And then sort of we have no choice but to Jozu his Jozu. Don't even know if I'll get to play 3 of these. Well, we're going to play Jozu. I'm angry at those events. Okay. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to go. Alright, so next turn on 10, we're gonna go for Jozu and Pudding. So what we want to do is play 2 Otamas now. So we bounce one back, and then on 10 Don we've got a spare one, so we can use all of our Don. Wait, what? Did I not even... I didn't change the deck. Guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't change the deck list. That's what's gone wrong. Okay. Alright, so you get a standard ace game to warm up with before we get into the spice. Alright. Yeah, so I don't want to swing at him because we don't want to get cards out of hand if we're going to go for a Pudding. He might Pudding us though. He's going 10 first. It's kind of scary. I can't play this because you get the same amount of cards. Yeah, Pudding would hurt right now. Okay, good. So he can't Jozu Pudding us. Oh, can't believe I forgot to change. See, I didn't want to save it over my main list because, and yeah, forgot to change it. That's alright. So for the purists out there, this first game's for you, and then the spice is coming in after. Alright, he's going to Jozu, but we will counter out. I don't like the idea of trashing 2 of these. Double 2k? Is that weird? Look, I wanted to keep the option of going Jozu Marco, but see, that might be our 10 Don play. We're just gonna have to double 2k it. These, if we can Pudding him and he doesn't get Jozu, then we'll start spamming these. We'll keep one each up. Okie dokie. Now, do we swing and give him more cards? Yeah, I think so. Put him to 1 if we can. Yeah. I want the game to go on forever. Now, do you draw Jozu? Ah, okay. Look, if he doesn't have Jozu right now, I won't take, or will I? No, I won't. If I had a Don on leader, I would. Oh, spicy. That's cool. But yeah, luckily we got a new gate. Now, he doesn't have any blockers. We can go 8, 9, or do we go 6, 6, 7, 8? I think big swings right now is a bit more important. Yamato could be good. Atmos could be good. Don't think we need 2 Izzos. Yeah, because he's got no Don on leader actually, so if we deal damage, he doesn't get a draw. So the 6, he probably would just counter out all 3 maybe. Okay, so he's going to add 2 cards. That's fine. You can red rock, swing with this, and try and go for game, but we got a fair bit of counter. He can load up big and swing into Jozu. I don't think we care. We're just going to Atmos the Marco and go for game. I'm happy to take that. Yeah, 3 cards. So we Atmos, then we can go 8, 11, 12. Yeah, that's should be GG. We have Wipey Pirates. Yes, always make sure you got 2 Wipey Pirates in hand before playing Atmos. So we swing 6, that's 1 card. Oh, and then GG. I'll just say. Well, surprisingly, that was a pretty clean game. It's actually pretty fun as well. But yeah, look, when the weekend rolls around for the Treasure Cup, I'll probably stick with something like this. Those Imu games, so boring. The Mirror does have a bit of something, but it's mentally very hard as well. Okay. Nice guy. Okay, we click on Sanji. It was nice though to play that awkward hand and still come out on top. I think we got lucky that he couldn't putting us on 10. Okay. He chose second. We're cool with that. This is a mulligan. And we really hope we see a Sanji off this Sotama. No. It's maybe a bit early for Roger. Look, when you add tech to your list, obviously it's not always going to come up. But I think that's a strength of Ace. You know, you can put in tech and just like, you know, the core of the deck, Josu's, Marco's, 10 drops, like that'll pull the weight. And you know, the list is probably more flexible than I think people realize. Hey! Now, we're on first curve, so we can play another Otama. I think I'd prefer to kill Hiyori with Otama and put this 6 at his face. So obviously he can Hiyori it. We're not too upset with that. He's not doing his full combo because the early Kashiro is just annoying. We're gonna keep. We kind of need to keep all of this. Wow, interesting. Alright, so we get to try the Marco play. Yeah, he must have a very, compared to my locals opponent last night, this guy's got a terrible hand. See, already feels good putting pressure on. Much more up my alley. So he can play Toshigi, or see, maybe he put this down to bounce back with Law. But if he bounces back with Law, he probably wants to swing with this into this, but we can block with Marco. Yeah, okay. This is good. This is good. One of these is surviving. Cool. You want me to draw 1 card? Or you want me to draw 2 cards? No, we obviously cannot defend that. And we'll take this one. Okay, Josu's galore. See, if we had the rush ace here, we'd really be cooking. We bounce this back. We can go 7, 7, 7, 7 with rush ace. Ooh. Josie's fine there. How do we want to do these swings? Do we want to swing with Marco? Marco can protect our Josu. Do we ever bounce back this? I think this gives too much value. Alright, we seem to see a 10 drop now. Yeah, we might use 1 card to counter this and then Mako can protect our life. Anything we want to trash? Look. On 10 Don going. If we had a 1-drop on the board going Jozu Sanji at the same turn would be pretty good. But I don't think we need 2 of these. And we top tick the 10-drop. I was confused as to why he didn't swing again. Maybe he doesn't want me to draw 2 cards. But that's fine. I might punish him with just a... If you don't want me to force a block with this, I might swing 7 with it instead. Shank scarred me last night, so I might keep this. Ace isn't bad, it's good pressure. Oh, look, Sanji's maybe a little bit slow. Yeah, I'm pretty healthy. I'm just, yeah. We're gonna swing with Marco. Cool. I'll take that. The Sanji Marco combination was almost so good that I almost prefer it over the rush. I don't know. Utilizing its block early instead of just letting it sit there. Yeah, felt really good. But yeah, we'll keep testing. If you wanted to try Sanji out and didn't want to go too crazy. Oh, actually, yeah, lucky we didn't get rid of the red rock. I forgot that he searched this at the start of the game. We probably just win. I don't think we need to overcomplicate things. We swing 12, he dumps his whole hand. Yeah. Okay. We'll go 7. Alright, GG. GG. That was fun. Really fun. It's very, yeah, just, it's nice to put the pressure on them for a change. We got lucky, he chose second. Oh, another one. Do you want to go second as well? No, you don't. I do not like this hand. I don't really like this one either. Please let us top deck a 1-drop. Oh. What do we want? I would love a 2K. I would love a 2K. Seems our hands is too dead. So yeah, obviously the 8 slots we put in, Sanji and Ace, kind of get nullified if you go second. But you know, the deck, the rest of your cards are good enough for second anyway. So it just means you got options either way. It's always a good thing having the freedom to go first or second. You know, we might. Yeah, we'll get rid of Roger. Probably let the Marco die if he Tashigis and swings into it. I wasn't really concentrating. What did he search? Okay, so he does have Tashigi. He's going Cavendish. And letting me stay at 3 life. Yeah, sure. And I get to get full value out of my Izzo before we bounce it back. I think maybe what's happened is having the night off yesterday and losing those couple of EMU games. I think the rank might be naturally adjusting. Because ace is so strong, it doesn't. If your opponent just plays slightly suboptimally, you know, you just win. Now we definitely want to protect this. We can realistically keep all of our characters alive. And then maybe try, we don't have event or 10 cost, we can maybe try and go for another Jozu. I won't trash anything. Give you Thatch. We could block, but I don't mind just swinging big again. Okay. Josie's nice. Take a 2k because that's all we can grab. We'll leave Marco standing for one more turn. I would love a pudding here. Now, we can defend this and then block the swing to our life. I don't think we care about going down to 1 right now. And we'll keep our hand healthy, so draw 3. go down to 1. All right. So I think 10 drop this turn. We can take the next damage and then maybe win with Roger. I'm tempted to use Event just so I can go swing big. 999 almost. Hmm. I like both of these. Considering we got Roger, this killing Kashiro is less relevant. Sorry, not 999, 899. All right. Really good spot. Okay. No block. Okay, so if we take this, he doesn't get leader effect. And then just 7, 7, 12, 13, 6, 7, 7, 12, 13. Does that make us win with Roger? So 1, 6, 7's 2 cards, or Event. Yeah, let's just take. I had a comment before, which I'm sorry I've never mentioned this, but if you want to know how to sort your hand, just make sure you're not clicked on the trash or anything, and just press H on your keyboard. And you can also do the same thing in your trash. When you clicked on your trash, you press T, and it'll organize it. Okay. See, if we block now, he does get to restand again. So what's he got coming? He can go. We counter out of this. He restands again. Goes another 9. Got a lot of 1Ks. But I think we're okay. Trash this. Yeah, just, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, very close. Now, just in this situation, always counter out and then save the block. Just say you had just enough counter for this 9, but save the block. There's no point blocking and letting him attack again, because then you can block this law in case he tries to go for game that way. GG. Alright, we'll go one more. Hopefully we get to go first and maybe try ace out. Alright, immune, nice. Ooh, alright, we'll keep. It's not the greatest hand, but we'll keep it for science. If we had a 1-drop for Jozu, oh, well, not that we can bounce anything, but, you know, this is the curve we're looking for. See, with ace, I like that to get the protection effect. You don't have to trash a card from hand or anything. I think we've played this guy before. Alright, he's got 2 bricks in hand. This is looking good for our strategy. Okay. 6. Six. Cool. 6. Cool. Just got 3 cards out. How many? 4. So if you use, we let this go, and then if he tries to KO ace, it'll go down to 4, and then he swings 5 at it. We can just counter out. So yeah, I'll take the draw. That's fine. Oh no, forgot it costs 3. That sucks. But yep. And no, we won't get greedy and defend. Okay. What do we like here? We do want to look for a 10 cost. We do want to stick to some normal plays. We got him super low in hand. He's taken a life. He's used a never existed, so it's a good start. We just don't want to get too crazy with it. I think Marco and Sanji, as nice as that would be, I think we need to search. We We might just grab a 2k. Look, if we whiff the new gate, you know, we can just keep playing these, but we'll take the 2k. Now I'm going to swing 7 first, because if he blocks, he'll have one less body to swing into my ace. So, oh, look, I could Jozu. Maybe Jozu's a better play. Jozu, pick back up the Garp, and then on 9 Don we can play Garp again to look for the 10 cost. It's boring, but that's probably smarter. If he's low on 2k, he dropped 2 ones for one of our 6, so he might block this anyway. Yeah. And then Joe's is always going to stick, so. Okay. Oh, so he's just blockering up. Yeah. Alright. Come on, Garp. I was going to say if that hits, we win. This is not bad. Still puts pressure on. We're going to be bottoming a Roger. What can we do for 8? We can play Sanji and ace. Or we can go 7, 7, Marco, Sanji. Or do we establish the big boy? I don't know. So he's got one of these in trash, so he's gonna KO. No, we won't give him any value out of this. We'll just... So we know he's got 2 elders in hand. Alright, pretty good spot. Pretty good spot. I think if that was a 10 cost, we probably winning. So get another one of these. No Jupiter. No Jupiter. Yes. Okay, so we've got 2 blockers. I think 7 with this looks pretty good. I think the Sanji's going. It's going to be these 2 if anything. Ten drop off the top, please. No. That's okay. I think we can just go 7, 7. Maybe swing with our ace first, because then we can go ace, Marco, 7 with lead, 7 Jozu, 10 here. Weird game, but at least it's different. There was a world where I maybe swing with this as well, but that's fine. See, he doesn't have Jupiter on the field, so he can't even. Yeah, look, that was bad luck for him by not having it in the trash. Kind of makes the game a lot easier than it should have been. Well, no. I will protect you while I can. Cool. So what's he gonna do? 7 into this maybe? We'll let this one go, obviously. Be nice if he just goes 6. It's annoying that I've just filled my hand back up. But with a 10 drop, I really want to keep that around so I can go 8, 9, 10. We'll test saving it. Maybe it's wrong, but got Roger. It's a while away till we can use that. I might put some swings into this. Okay. All right, cool. I think we're gonna have to let Josie go here. I could drop 2 cards. Block the Nosturo swing, and then I kind of want to take some hits to life though. But see, defending this is just a 1k, whereas if he goes this 7 at my face, we'll counter it. Weird game. Weird game. They never die. They refuse to die. It's annoying. Okay. No, you can definitely have that. Alright, so that's his third. We'll wait for this to... He's on to his last 10 drop next turn. Really? I mean, sure. Okay. So I think he's got 2 blockers, an event. We need to put him to 1 and then end the game with Roger next turn. So we bring ace down. We can swing 7 with ace. 10, 9, 11. Don't even know if we need to keep that up. So we got 5. Yeah, he's just going to block. We're 1 short. I would love to be able to swing. Maybe that's a 7, and then we can go... No, we can't go 5 on guard. Do I even need to play this? Can I just go load up guard, keep this card in hand? Because playing 5 and attaching 5, similar thing. We'll save 2 Donning. Because we might be able to swing with this and then play Uta. Just don't know if we survive. If he double blocks. Okay. He's got 4 swings. Plus another one if he puts a rusher down. 5 swings. We're going to have a 2k, 1k. We need to keep Roger. Let's risk it. We've got to end this game at some stage. This can't be KO'd, so it's nice. We will take this just so we have some fodder for... Alright, nice. Counter. So if we block, do we just win pretty much? We might save the block guy in case he decides to go after this. So we'll just take this one. He's got a big hand. It might not work. It might not work. He's going to get a search. Oh, he's going to have to... Okay. This might not work. His hand's huge. So we go 6, get 1 card out. We go 10. I wish we had 2 of these at this point, because if this was 12, I think it definitely connects. But the fact that this is 10 means he can just go event 2k, and then he's still got another event up. Because they don't run many dead cards. He's already got these in the trash. He's got 3 of these in the all 4 of these are in the trash. He's got a Stussy in the trash, so I think it's going to be 1k, 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 2k, 2k, and then event, event, event. So 6 gets the 2k up. Oh, he's only got 6 cards in deck. Wow. I never thought about the decking out option. Damn, I've never had to deck him out, so, but I should have realized that's a play. Because yeah, 6k gets 1 2k to hand. 10, he goes event and then another 2k, and then he's got 2 more events. You can go 9, 12, and then a 1k for the 12. So unfortunately, I don't think we've got it. Don't think we can survive anymore. I'm trying to think if we pudding. If we pudding, then we go. If he doesn't draw into events, we can go pudding. We can go 7 leader, 7 garp. No, no. Oh, we're not even on 0 life. Oh, fellas. Okay. My bad. My bad. Look, we can stick that down and then play some mind games. That might do something. Emu is a cockroach. We had a really good start. Okay, let that go. If he blocks one, that would be nice. It's a shame we don't have Don on leader though. Okay. We obviously can't survive. It's a shame because he's probably got another Nostro in hand. So I think, has he already used all of his elders? No, he's still got one more. Oh, of course. What am I doing? You're just so used to 8s that, okay, GG. He had the rush anyway. But, alright. I just assumed we were on 0 because I was planning for Roger for so long. Weird game at the end there. Sorry guys, suboptimal. It was a long video. but there was potential there. We were going first, I remember, and that game was a bit more exciting than the last two games we went first. I think if we just had a bit more search early, to find our new gate, like if we didn't have to play this and we had two of these on board, he was pretty stacked with counter. But if we could have blocked more, defended more, and we probably could have even decked him out. He can play this. But yeah, that definitely changed the game. But I think the Sanji, I liked it. It did feel like we were at least putting him a little bit on the back foot early. It was just the late game that didn't go our way. But it was more fun though. It was more fun. So if you like the Sanji, give me a shout out. But yeah, the most important thing is I just had to reset my mind a little bit. It's been a lot of content the last week, and it's good to play something fun. Remember, let me know what spice you want to see in a future video. For tomorrow, probably just keep with what we played tonight. See if keep testing it. Friday will just be a light session because I've got to get up early for the Treasure Cup on Saturday. Saturday night, probably have a break. But next week, yeah, Animal or Odin. Let me know. Or we can go do something crazy like Straw Hat and then add the Rush Luffy and do some cool things there. But Nami Searcher, you don't want to interrupt the rest of your deck. Like the biggest positive we've got is Garp, and Garp lets you sort of play, like two engines. You can play a bit of anything because Garp will search it for you without interrupting all your Wipe Your Pirate stuff. As soon as you change Garp to like an army, then you're just splitting your deck in half and saying, okay, you're not going to draw new gates, but you might draw this. Garp adds that synergy and lets us put spicy things in. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. That was good fun, and I'll catch you tomorrow.